I just changed the screen. Oh my god. The ratio for the screen coming off my VGA card in DOS mode is 720 by 400 at 70 Hertz, which is interesting, not at all, except that monitors, like the two I'm looking at right now, can easily adapt to that setting. Video capture cards can't. There's really no point. They'll expect at least like 1080p settings. Nothing like something that's almost an A-Team quote, but not quite. Alright, so here is my first attempt at reinstalling a menu for my original 5155 IBM XT and my flashy new VGA card, which defies all video capture, unless I want to spend money. Oh, and it still thinks it's January 1st, 1980. So, good work on setting the time there. So let's go to the DOS utilities. That was not the DOS utilities. And we're going to go to a command prompt. And set the time. It is 10:22 p.m. So in military time, that would be 2022. And the date is 07/24/2020. I have not been able to figure out how to get the XT to keep time settings. So there's a multifunction card in there right now that does have a battery that I've replaced with probably the wrong battery. Oh, hey, I did the math wrong, so it only thinks it's 8:22 p.m. instead of 10:22 p.m. All right, well, we can fix that. That's why we have these menu settings for. We can very quickly, address issues with the program. I'm half asleep. And so let's try 22. There we go. So now it is 10:22 p.m. on July 24th. Saturday? I think it's Friday. Why do I think it's Friday? Friday the 24th. It thinks it's Saturday. Interesting. Apparently we've had some time slippage on the old 88 design since 1985. Well, I can live with it. We're only a day off. So what I wanted to look at that I haven't looked at in decades is I started loading up some games. And we've played some of the text games, but we haven't played a text game from my old bulletin board system, Trade Wars 2002. This game literally got me thrown out of college because I was playing this dumb game instead of going to school, studying, doing calculus, showing up for calculus, or doing the work I was supposed to be doing back in 1989. It's a great game. So it's all text-based. It's designed to be funneled out over a COM port. So I would actually set up my, I think at the time, 2400 baud modem. Maybe I got it up to a 14.4. When I originally got the 5155, I had a 300 baud modem, which was great. It came with like the acoustic coupler for the old heavy-duty handsets to put in there, and it would actually work better if you kind of left it off the acoustic coupler a little bit so it could pick up room noise for some reason. I never quite figured out. But I still have that. I think that also got scavenged for parts, so if that would be another project to bring back to life, but I still have the mighty 300 baud modem. But so I would set this up on my phone or my parents' phone, probably at the time, and people would come in and they would play Trade Wars. And this was registered software. I actually paid for this. So when I start the game, we would usually be fronting this with some BBS software that would have your account and your login and your password. So you wouldn't just tell it your name. Well, yes, I would like ANSI graphics. That's what we got all the color going for. It's now loading. I'm so excited. But people would trade off playing the game throughout the day. You'd have so many turns you could take for your character. In world, you're riding around in like a little fleet of spaceships and doing stuff, trading, mainly trading, trying to generate resources, get better ships, get bigger armies. Trade Wars 2002. Look at that. Top of the line art, and the artwork changes to a couple different screens depending on when you come in. So let's take a look at the day's log. So you would also do maintenance. So I haven't done maintenance on it in decades, which would, you know, move meteors around and cause things to happen, which was pretty awesome. One of the funnest things I ever did was I got into a fight with a guy, and he had many more resources than I did. And it would have taken a lot of time to sort of fight it out in terms of, you know, I was a 20-year-old kid who had to go to school and have a job. Once I got back into college, he was like a 14-year-old kid who could play all the time at home. So I couldn't beat him in a traditional way. Nothing's changed. Now I'm a 50-year-old man who can't play Fortnite 24 hours a day. So I need more casual gaming experiences. Back then, what I did was I actually used a planet-creating torpedo. And they warn you in the game that if you shoot off too many of these in a sector of space, it'll cause planetary collisions and destroy everything in that sector. So I figured out what it would take to survive entering a sector of my nemesis, which meant I lost some 90% of my forces in an attack, and could in no way mount an effective assault on his forces. But by getting into a sector and losing most of my stuff, I had one ship left, and I could launch, you know, a dozen or so of these planet-creating missiles. And then when daily maintenance happened, all the planets smashed together, and I lost my stuff, and he lost his stuff. So that was an example of me being a terrible person. So if we take a look at this copy of Trade Wars 2002 is registered to the Safe Haven and is being brought to you courtesy of William Winters. Yes, this is one of those rare occurrences where I spent money and registered the software and paid for it. We are looking at Wide Beta 5, and this actually came off of floppies. I'm not sure what I was doing. It sort of looks like a game was generated and everything was installed. Let's take a look. Let's create a character. I have a merchant cruiser. Let's call it the 50 year old casual. Yes. Okay, so Shano Shweduk warps out of the sector. I am in Sector 1. I can go to sectors 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And there are aliens there with fighters. And there's a smuggler there with fighters. People have alignment here, so we're in a Federation space. I don't think the smugglers will attack me here. I could be wrong. They may attack me outside of here. So I have no idea how to play this game anymore. So let's take a look at the help. Well, it is called Trade Wars, so let's port and trade. So since this is like the main port and I just got this ship, I'm not going to attack the port, but I'll trade. I have 990 turns left. Now remember, 2400 baud, so probably not this fast. And it's sort of ridiculous because I used to love creating little ANSI character pictures like this. So I believe that these are ships being docked at the station. This literally slows the game down and makes it take longer to play each turn, rendering these terrible character-based graphics. I have so let's buy some shield points. And what are my options here? Those are my options. So I've got everything I can there. And let's take a look. We're going to redisplay the sector and see what kind of things we have here. Oh, sorry, D. That's a special port. So let's land on the planet, see if we're allowed. Oh, there are colonists. Well, let's take the colonists, obviously. We'll do 25. And I leave the planet. Well, that was... Let's go to 2. We are warping to Sector 2. A lot of fighters here. There's a port. Let's see if we can land at the port. Port and trade. Okay, P. And this is how I know my brain is going downhill. We're going to trade at this port. So and let's look around us. Let's go to 3. there's a port. Let's trade at the port. And that was quick. They don't have anything we want. And we do not want to attack anything. So I should also mention that you can see 4 down there is a sector we've never been in. There's a couple different ways you can do this. I actually did have mapping sector software that would let you send out probes. So if you send out probes, you can get it to go through several sectors until the probe burns out, and it'll report which sectors connect. So you can use that to build like a star map to show you which sectors connect to which sectors for calculating how to get to various places safely. So now we're in Fed space, and we have a port here. We're going to go 3951. Now remember, unexplored space. We're going to go 3900. Let's find some stuff. Oh, we got an outport. Let's port. We're going to trade. And they are buying. So we are selling. We made some money. They seem to be selling equipment pretty cheap. We're going to try and minorly undercut them. Okay, so now we have a bunch of equipment. So let's take a look at 3812, 775, 3954. Okay, so we'll port here, and we'll trade, and we're going to sell all of that equipment, but we really want to get, say, 5870. And do we want fuel ore? Sure, we'll take some fuel ore. Alright, so let's go to 3042. So we can already see that that's a sell buy. So we're not going to be able to trade anything here. And they're going to tell us that and just kick us off. But we did get 50 experience for docking, someplace we haven't docked before. So let's take a look at 4584. So now the interesting thing about this is when you install the game, you actually generate sort of the connected sectors. They're randomized and unique per game. Now if I were to like go back to sector 1, actually let's just do that, 4656. So now we're plotting a course back to sector 1, and I think this will go against our turn count. This might be where having a NXT is killing us on the warp calculations. Strangely enough, I don't ever recalling this being an issue. So, oh, there we go. So, we're going through a bunch of sectors that we haven't been in. So let's go single. And let's stop here. There's an outpost, and they're buying, so we can sell. So let's port, trade. I've been promoted. We're gonna sell. Well, while they're selling equipment cheap. So remember, oh. Are they selling it cheap? I don't know. Oh, okay, so I've made 2,000 credits. So is it smart enough to remember how to get to 1? Oh no, it's got to calculate again. Yikes. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. We'll go single. There's a port. Yes, we're going to stop. And we're going to trade. Oh, I forgot about this. Yes, you can create corporations. I don't remember if that's how you do alignments. Not alignments, but work with other people. I think the reason we never did corporations is nobody wanted to be secondary at a corporation. Everybody wanted to have their own. So then it's pretty much just you. So we're going to sell 50. We're going to ask for 6,400. I drive a hard bargain, but I got it. And we're going to get some fuel oil. Alright, so we're going to head back to 1. Now we still haven't found a planet yet for our passengers. Nor have we been killed by pirates, though, so that's good. So we're going to stop here. And we're going to port. And we're going to trade. And we're going to sell 50 fuel ore. And we're going to, we'll just accept it. What the heck? Okay. We're going to buy equipment. So when we would play this for hours and hours and hours, you'd find 2 sectors that were compatible, and then you would just continue moving back and forth between those sectors, trading, and eventually you'd reach a point of diminished returns where they weren't interested in buying it, or you weren't making a profit, so it just wasn't worth it. So you didn't want to trade beyond that, so you'd have to go find some other ports. And it would take time for the ports to replenish. That's a part of that maintenance as well, not just smashing planets. I like the smashing planet stuff. So single. Doesn't appear to be anything there. Let's not stop. Let's stop here. And let's port. And trade. Sell some equipment. Looking good. Oh, we're getting some organics. We'll head back to 1. Oh, see. No, we don't want it. Okay, so we haven't been to 422. Yeah, let's stop in this sector. And we're going to port. And we're going to trade. Oh, look at that. You got some notes there about other people. So it says, 50-year-old casual docked here 11 minutes ago. So I was in this sector. That's when I was trading. So my bulletin board only had one line coming in. I had one phone line in my house. But I worked at another bulletin board where they had 20 phone lines coming in. So you could actually see other people, and you could interact with them real time if you had multiple phone lines. All of the interactions is file based, so whenever I move in or out of a port, it's updating a file, and other sort of threads playing the game share the files, and you can see each other that way. It's super old school, but it's fun. So let's sell some organics. They're all mine, yay! So, you can also do things like, I want to go there. And it'll compute that path. I think we've got 10,000 ports. And, early on when you're playing the game, you want to find paths to ports that you haven't seen before, so you want to see a lot of red. So there we go. We're going to see a lot of red. So single. So there are a lot of terrorists here. Oof. That's a good one to get away from, because those guys can attack you. And we only have 400 shields. So we're going to sell some fuel. Okay. Back to the bad number. So we'll go single. We'll stop. Oh, sorry. Yes. I've been promoted, and I get money. Yes, I know. I'd make more money if I went for the equipment, but sometimes you gotta play for the love of the game. We have arrived. Autopilot disengaged. And to port. We're not going to attack. And we're going to take a look around us, and we're going to go to 875. Oh, now we're going to go to 991. Now we're going to go to 2100. $35.55. Well, So let's go 35, 55. Oh. 1059. And let's go. Express. We're warping. We're warping. We've arrived. Nice. Man. So let's go 2199. See how far away we are from that. And we'll go single. Yes, we want to stop. Whew. I don't know how long I'm going to have to play. There's also a couple of large ports out in the middle of nowhere to see if we can figure out the location of those for trading, and there's some lore. It's kind of fun. So let's sell that off. So now here's the thing. So I'm about to sign off the game. If I sign off in this sector and somebody finds me, they can just attack me. So I would probably be better off going back to Sector 1 and just hanging out. I've attacked no good guys, so there's no reason for anybody to try and beat me up. But now I've gotten the bug. God, we used to play this for hours every day. I should see if I can find my mapping software to tell me. I'd actually have to play it through a terminal, though. Not interactively like this, because I'd have to generate a log. Sell some fuel ore. Buy some equipment. Oh, come on, we gotta look at 2063. What if there's something in 2063? No, there's not. What about 3958? Oh, there we go. All of a sudden that turn limit takes on some stark reality when you've gotten yourself out in the middle of nowhere and you have 3 turns left to get back to Sector 1, so the Space Federation can protect your tiny explodable butt. We got trade. It's trade wars after all. I just can't get over the fact that it's 51-55 making these decisions. That is so awesome. It's not hanging out by the robber. And the autopilot is disengaging. There, we're coming back to the safe haven. We are not.